called Decolonization, Reconciliation, and the Extra Rational Potential of the Arts by Cheyanne Turions. This article focuses broadly on decolonization, how Canada kind of misses the mark when it comes to following through on the actions that it says it will do, and basically that this has almost become its strategy as well, almost in an intention of placating Indigenous people. And it's exhausting to sort of bring in this history, but the article also has to, and it's important to do it because it illustrates how many times Canada has failed and the struggles that it has used to continue dominance. So for instance, it'll talk about problematic aspects of the Indian Act, which basically is this document that is set to eliminate people, but that at the same time it still exists today. Or like how the Canadian state will go ahead and apologize for agendas of assimilation, but it won't do anything to adequately address the harm of settler colonialism that has had on Indigenous people, for example, in residential schools. So I think what it's saying is that there's no reconciliation until Indigenous people have the right to self-determine, and treaties are recognized and, honored, and restitution is made for appropriated land and resource, and also socio-economic, health, and education outcomes are improved substantially. It says in the article, substantially so. So it talks about another method of the TRC, for instance, and how it's not enough to enact the healing that it points towards. So it's sort of more of the same, where the Canadian state will put forward this idea, but it's actually all just hollow words. So it's sort of another mechanism of the state that's coordinated for the economic and social benefit of the state and over Indigenous people's right to justice on their own terms. So without that repatriation of land and resource and life, this is all just another hollow move to relieve feelings of settler guilt and responsibility, because the necessary action to fix the wrong actually isn't being done at all. So things like the TRC are basically just gestures that point to a potential but don't actually realize that potential. So it doesn't just say that these methods aren't working, but it actually says that not only do they not work, but they also they continue to become forms of colonization. They continue to be forms of oppression, and it alleviates the need for redistribution of power and resources and privilege on behalf of the dominant state. So in that way, it's saying, why not look at another method, because the Canadian state obviously has an agenda, and it's a good point, right? Because why would you continue to to get more of the same? So it's saying, why not reconsider it through like a new way of being, through the arts. So maybe so basically it's saying that we have to indigenously self-determine the future that we dream, and therefore things like the TRC, or things that engage with Indigenous people, also have to include them.